This is part 5 in the Danny Rolling serial killer series that I'm presenting through True Crime, Real Criminals. Now, when we left off, Christina Powell and Sonia Larson were Danny Rolling's victims in the Gainesville murders, the first of the Gainesville murders. He committed the other murders before, but nobody knew that at the time. The very next day, he came back to this apartment complex and he broke into another woman's apartment that he was stalking. What was her name? Hoyt, I believe. Yeah, Krista Hoyt, 18-year-old kid just starting college. And he broke into her apartment and waited on her to come home. She didn't come home until 11 o'clock in the morning, but he was there and he got her. And like he did with Miss Powell previously, he took this woman, taped her mouth shut, taped her hands behind her back, stripped her naked, raped her brutally, and then he stabbed her in the back with a K-bar knife that he used to break in to the apartment through the sliding glass doors. Now, it's this K-bar knife that actually links him to these crimes when they catch him later doing a burglary. And who knows where that was going, but it was that K-bar knife that linked him. That was like their only evidence. But yeah, he murders this woman here. And the sad part is, he decapitates her and then poses the head of his victim on a shelf facing the body that it was taken from. And it was to shock anybody that came in and discovered the body, and it did shock the people. I'm sure they live with those memories, no doubt. But that's what he did with Krista Hoyt. And then a couple days later, he came back to this apartment complex area where all these students were living off campus, and he broke into another apartment, and this one was had two students in it, a male and a female, and they were living together. And apparently he wasn't counting on the guy to be there. This is the guy that fought him off. But like I said, Danny was a pretty big guy, and this kid fought. He gave him a hell of a fight. He tried hard, but Danny overcame him. And in that struggle, though, as he was murdering this young man, the other victim, victim number 4 or 5 now, came down. This kid's name was Manny Taboda, and it was Tracy Pauls who lived with Manny together in the apartment. And she heard the struggle. She was coming downstairs because it was a 2-level apartment, and she was upstairs, he was downstairs. And when she came down and she seen what was taking place, she ran and she hid. She locked herself in a room, tried to get away. But Danny, after he killed this young man, Manny, he went back upstairs and he got Paula. He broke in through the doorway, and once again, he bound her up, tied her up, taped her shut, her mouth shut, and then raped her. And like 2 previous victims, he brutally stabbed them in the back while they were laying face down and murdered them. That's how he was killing his victims, by stabbing them in the back, because he was a backstabber. He was a backstabbing scumbag is what he was. I'll be back for part 5, I believe it is. Part 5, part 6. This is part 5.